are going to record this meeting. First off, we are going to shake some things up today. And I want to do this every single month. We just want to do some things different. We want to give you guys new things to talk about in this environment. We want to pull some conversations that we're hearing from the market into the conversation today. So before we get started, and as a precursor to our conversation coming up in a few minutes, I want you guys to do this. Instead of putting your wins, shout outs, and Instagram handles, I think by now we pretty much know who each other are. But here's what I want to do. I want to shake some things up today. I want you guys to put any of your challenges that you're currently facing in the market, particularly with the buyers that you're working with. Is there challenges about the verbiage, about how to explain what's happening with interest rates, what's happening with inflation? Like, what are your challenges? Do you have buyers that want to wait? Do you have buyers that are on the fence? Do you have buyers or sellers that say, you know what, this is not our time because of what's happening in the market? We're all facing similar challenges. What we're going to do is in a few minutes, we're going to have a quick impromptu mastermind. We're going to hear from you guys. We're going to share some thoughts, share some ideas, in the hopes that we're constantly feeding our minds, perfecting our dialogue to make sure that we're combating what is happening in our market head on. Because I promise you this, it is never the market. It is only our inability to express and communicate what is actually happening in the marketplace. How do we do that? We get better. We practice our dialogue and we come together in this environment. So please go ahead and put that down below. We're going to come full circle. I want to hear from everybody. We'll come back to that in just a couple of minutes. But without further ado, I don't know if we had we did have a teaching moment this week. I'm going to turn it over to the Oracle, and we're going to go over to you for a quick teaching moment. And you guys, I want to apologize. I have some background noise because Grant Peasy's here today, and it's a little noisy. So I will mute myself in and out, but I'm going to turn it over to you, Karina, for a quick teaching moment. So without further ado, our Oracle.
Today's teachable moment is about teamwork and professionalism. So we love it when team members partner on transactions. Usually it works out great for our clients, for our, for everybody. However, every once in a while, there is a miscommunication around how those partners will split the commission. So we really want both partners to agree to the split ahead of time, ideally in writing, and then stick to that agreement. So please do that. Relationships are everything in this business. We want to keep the cohesiveness of the team. So please take care of each other. And then second, we need you to be mindful that you create an agency relationship when you communicate with clients, when you have meaningful conversations or provide advice, whatever. And this happens, you should be incorporated into the contract, whether it be a listing or purchase. That's why ideally only the agent that is directly working with the client should have these conversations, not the advisors, not other team members. Just keep those lines clear that if you're communicating with those clients, you should be a part of that transaction covered under the agency disclosure, which is looped in with the RPA and the RLA. And then just another shout out for communication, my favorite thing. Be responsive to leadership, to our support staff with eXp, to other agents, etc. Check your Slack once a day. We're all busy, but follow-up is the biggest, in my opinion, the single biggest determining factor of success in this industry. So practice those skills all across the board. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you guys, we're going to move right on. Let me pull up my slides really quick. Mother, if you guys can please keep it down. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Welcome. Mom's here. Grant Peasy's here. Lily's here. I'm feeling tremendous levels of gratitude, you guys, having all my family here, having the children here. I'm really, really excited. So let's get into productivity and new escrows before we get into our conversation of the day. So CSU updates. Sylvia Young coming in #1 for hours working in her business. Right behind her is JJ at 27. Right behind him is a tie with actually a three-way tie between Bo, George, and Linnell for hours working in your business. So really great job, everybody. Conversations leaderboard. We have Maria Dominguez coming in at #1 with 61 conversations. Will has had the #1 position, I think, for the past 4 weeks. So great job, Maria, to create some competition. Right behind Will is Otis. Then we go to Danielle Martinez and Eric Hahn with 51 conversations. So great job, everybody leading in conversations, because we know that that's going to result into transactions. go to appointments attended. Once again, Will Dangler at number 1. Will was on our group coaching last Friday and dropped some absolute fire. If you have the ability to go back and watch that session, it was really, really an incredible session. Hector at number 2. Ben coming in with a three-way tie for number 3. Ben, Derek, and Maria. Great job, everybody, lighting up the CSU leaderboard for this week. Let's move on to hours working on your business. George Martinez, my man, stepping up in every single way in our business, came in at number 1. Sam came in at number 2. Let's congratulate Sam. Sam earned her way onto Zillow Flex because of her performance on OpCity and OJO and her conversion. She has now earned her spot into Zillow Flex. So huge congratulations to Sam. Right behind her is Sylvia, Danielle Martinez, and then Melissa Ross coming in number 5. So congratulations to all of you guys. Special huge props to Sam for earning her spot onto Zillow Flex. And let's turn the mic over to you guys. Let's talk about community contributions. The sun is shining. Last week's event was super, super cool. Our Pride event was amazing. Karina said it was a great event, and it was cool because it wasn't too crazy busy, but it was just enough people to have fun, raise money for an incredible cause. So want to turn it over to you guys and see, is there anything that you guys are doing within the community that you guys want to? Anybody have anything that they want to talk about in the community that they're doing right now? All right, going once, going twice. Okay, here's what I want to do before the end of the summertime. I want to throw a block party at our Oakland office. I want to do a block party / car show. I want to have everyone bring out their classic cars. I want to have food, and I want to earn money for a cause. I don't know exactly what that cause is yet, but I want to have an ability to drive money and earn money and have vendors out there and have our partners out there, have some fun, have some music, bring the kids. Literally, I want to close off the 2 streets surrounding our office and have a block party and have everybody bring out their whips. So that's something I would like to accomplish by the end of the summer. So yeah, more information to come on that. But if there's nothing for community contributions, let's just keep cruising, you guys. All right, let's get into new escrows for the week. So Jim and Mike Spivey got in a contract for $279. Congrats, gentlemen. Tracy Tang got in a contract for $395. Miles Tillman for $480, and another deal he partnered with Lamont on for $475. So congratulations to everybody that made the leaderboard this last week. Let's go over to Jim. Jim, my man, you've been showing up, you've been working hard, you've been doing events, you've been hosting script role play sessions in the office. So Jim, let's talk about this transaction. What was your strategy and how you got your clients into contract?
Right. This client was a lender referral. We got this lender referral from, the beginning of this month on the 3rd. Apparently, this lender, this client was another real estate agent, no show, didn't want to help him out and whatnot, and just gave up the deal. So we had to actually interview with the lender just to see how, if we've worked with VA loans before, whatnot, or if we have any experience in the area. So we qualified, we got the deal done fairly quick within 13 days. We found a home for him fairly quick because low inventory. That's the location where he lives now. There were a bunch of condos for sale, but it was in a pretty rough neighborhood. So he wanted to move out of there. So we found one in Vacaville, built that relationship. That's the best part, is that relationship between myself and the client. He's actually, he works on base on Travis Air Force Base, and we were able to connect. We were able to, get a better understanding of how we work and whatnot. And it just jived, it clicked right away. So found a place. It was fairly easy. We went with listing price, all contingencies in place, VA loan, 35 days escrow, and they took the deal. So,
man, I absolutely love that, because sometimes there's just this misconception that my VA loan is not as stronger than other loans, but you built a good relationship, strong terms and good job, man. Way to be there, way to show up for your clients, man. So congratulations to you. Let's go to the next category. So, I can't have you on here today, Ernesto, and not have you speak about your recent transactions. So congratulations to Ernesto. Congratulations to Andrew Ruska. Emerald Wright, second week in a row with the transaction, and Linda No, second week as well with 2 transactions. We'll get to the next one in a moment. But Ernesto, I want to know all about this, my brother. This is an internal partnership. I know it was Andrew's listing. You brought the buyer, man. So tell us a little bit about this and tell us your strategy.
Yeah, this is a little unique. So I saw it in our off-market chat. Andrew posted it. The seller had a certain situation they wanted out quick, privately, so he posted in the off-market chat. I visited it with my contractor, and I initially wanted to flip it. So I go to my lender, my hard money lender. I'm like, hey, let's get the ball rolling because I want to flip this property. He's like, hey, we got bad news because of the market shifting. We're actually not doing loans for at least a week and a half. So I'm like, man, I was pretty bummed, right? But I knew that it was a good deal. And I know a guy who does a lot of flips in Oakland, and I knew that he would like it. So even though his wife is a realtor, I messaged him like, hey man, there's a really good opportunity. I think you're going to like it. So, if I offer it to you, just want to make sure that I could represent you as a buyer. And I met him at a conference like 3 years ago in Oakland, actually. It was at Lake Merritt, kind of a real estate investing conference. So a little creative, but at the end of the day, it's like, at first I was upset because like this deal had slipped out of my hands, but I was like, wait, I can still make money off this deal. I know who can buy it. I can represent them as a buyer. So had to get a little creative and still make it work. Andrew and I worked really well together, and the terms are really, really aggressive. We offer like an 8-hour inspection period and made it easy for the seller and everybody. So good tag team with Andrew.
And I love it. I love it. And was this your first time working with Andrew on a deal?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
the cool thing was like, we went back and forth a little bit, and I love that Andrew was like, you know what? I value my long-term relationship with you. So like, let's figure out a way to kind of make this a win-win. And we did. So it was awesome.
Man. And when you mean back and forth, you did a little negotiation back and forth and then.
Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. But even then we were really quick. We weren't dragging this out. We didn't play a bunch of games. So there was just a little, that's why. So he's got it posted at 520. We actually had a little bit of kind of back end negotiating and still made this work.
Cool, brother. Well, congratulations to you and congratulations to Andrew as well. All right, let's continue cruising on. The next category is 550 to 760. Anna Pacheco on the board once again, super consistent with her production. And then Chris Sambajan for 610, once again, super consistent with his production. Anna, I see you on, I see your camera's on. I would love for you to talk about this transaction. Let's talk about strategy. How did you meet this person? What was the strategy to get your offer accepted? And did you notice any pattern differences in getting your offer accepted in today's market?
Yeah, so this is actually a house that I have listed. Some sellers moving to Sacramento. And you know what? I noticed as soon as I showed the property on Sunday, the agents were a lot more proactive and calling for feedback. The houses were on the market a little bit longer. So it really was about communication with the agents because I think people are starting to feel the shift. So we brought it together and so it's basically one of my listings moving to Sacramento. So we got him into contract. So he'll be able to be out of his house 15 days after closing.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you. It seems like you are having an incredible year. And how's the remodel on your home going?
I'm down to the end. I have to be done by next week. I have to be moved out in this place ready by the 1st, but so far so good.
Okay, good.
Electricity.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to you on both ends. All right, let's continue moving forward, you guys. I'll tell you what, I've been saying this week in and week out. Team Pooey, Team Kevin, and Viv, Spivey Daniel team. This is the team to watch out right here. They're coming for you. Joseph Chan and Ronnie Escalante with another deal, $800,000. And then Linda No on the board once again for $940,000. I'm actually going to turn it over to Joseph. Joseph, are you on today, brother? So Joseph is not on. Ronnie is not on. And let me check Linda really quick. All right, cool. You guys send them some love. send them some positive energy, congratulate them. We're going to move on to the next slide. You guys, this is incredible. So check this out. And I think, Karina, you have a little bit of color on this one as well. This has been this listing has been on the market for quite some time. Actually, I see Amy on. You guys, $3.5 million. Let me say that for the people in the back of the room, $3.5 million. Amy Inhofe, this is the largest career deal that you've ever had. Super, super excited for you. Can you tell us about this? Tell us about the challenges that you've had with this transaction, and just tell the story, please.
Yeah, so it's a listing that that I had, and obviously it's a luxury property in St. Helena. So we wanted to sell it. They wanted to sell a year ago, but they were flip-flopping for a while. So they finally decided to go for it. But of course, sellers, are asking for the world. They think it was like 4.2. And I showed them all the comps and where it was. But, I just let them have their number for a bit. And then finally, something came through. And I was like, you know what? The feds just increased the rates. We can continue to wait. Yes, you can make your $1 million, just kind of agreeing with them, but you would have to wait a year or more. So what do you want to do? It's a take it or leave it offer from them. And because the buyer's agent was pretty clear about that. And I was like, we can call their bluff, or we could do the dance or get it done. So they accepted.
Wow. Well, congratulations to you guys. Like, think about that. Anything is possible. $3.5 million. Yeah, it took some time, but she was patient and she saw it through all the way until the end. So congratulations to you, Amy. This is going to put you in a totally different category in that market. And so I'm hoping that you're able to leverage this and find a couple more $3.5 million deals or above. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So let's go over fast escrows. It was a lighter week for us in regards to new escrows. We had about $10 million in production. Now I say that's a slow week, but it's still a strong week, but it's a little under our benchmark. Here's your closed escrows and here's your pending escrows. So make sure to take a shot of that, post that on social, and that way we are continuing to share the message. This week, we're not going to talk about fast story of the week. We're going to get right into a couple new things that are going on. Let's turn the mic over to Molly to talk about Tech Tool Tuesday. Sorry, you guys, that is a tongue twister. Let's turn it over to Molly to talk a little bit about what is going on this afternoon.
Hey guys, yeah, today's tech tool we're going to be discussing, which all of you guys are already familiar with, is going to be Slack. So we're going to just do a little bit deeper dive about etiquette, channels that you should favorite, different assets and resources that are in there that probably a lot of you overlook or don't really realize is there. So today, Karina and I, at 12 o'clock in her room, Zoom link is on the calendar, we will be featuring Slack, our favorite communication tool.
Beautiful, beautiful. So make sure if this is an area you guys feel that your challenge is, you don't know how to navigate it, you don't know how to find certain things that are important to you, make sure you hop in, and I look forward to Tech Tuesdays every single week. We're going to try to come up with new topics every single week. All right, so you've onboarded, you have gotten all your documents, you've gotten all of your emails, all these things, right? Well, now what? And what I realized and what me and Molly and I talked about is that there's sometimes a disconnect in regards to like the actual business planning. Have you established your goals? Do you know how to build your calendar? Do you know how to use the tools? What is the highest and best use of your time? What should you be doing on a daily basis? How do I complete daily tasks? And so next week, June 28th from 12 to 2 o'clock, we are doing a Now What session, AKA a business planning session. If you are a newer agent, or even if you're a seasoned agent and you find that there's some gaps and some things that you want to work on, feel free to tap into the session. This is going to be in Oakland. This is going to be an incredible opportunity. Wait, Molly, we're in Oakland, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. It's in Oakland, in HQ. So come together. We're going to provide food. We're going to have some fun. This is going to be you're going to be able to come out of this session with a true foundation of what to do for the next 120 days. So I want to make sure that you guys are there. Let's come together and make the best out of this event. So More information to come on that. We'll probably do like a registration link. That way you guys can sign up, but I've onboarded Now What coming next week. Let's turn the mic over to Cynthia. Cynthia, proficiency class, as well as the FFA program. And let me turn the mic over to you. Cynthia going once. Cynthia
Hey
going
guys,
twice.
sorry. I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Sorry guys, I jacked up my neck and my back, so I'm camera off today.
Oh no.
But
Are you okay? What
it's all.
happened?
I freaking worked out too hard. I did it to myself.
Okay. Cabo
But
ready. I get it. I get it. She's been Cabo ready.
you know, seriously, just trying to do some good. I end up doing some bad, but that's all right because I'm still planning the proficiency classes for Friday. This week, I'm going to be teaching you guys about the listing agreement, what you want to have in that listing agreement. Do we bring it with us? What do we fill out? What do we leave blank? And how to just make it a process that's easy for you guys to replicate. As you guys know, sellers are looking to get places on the market. So I think that you guys are going to find it to be very, very beneficial. All the details are in our team calendar. It's from noon to 1 in my Zoom room. And then since I have the mic, don't forget the FAA program mixer is going to be on July 7th. Check your team calendar because all the details are there for that as well.
Beautiful. Love it. Drive safe, stretch, go get a massage, do whatever you need to do. Let me know if you need any help. So Kenny, let's go over to you, my man. We're going to come full circle on our conversation about the market, but you want to do a quick update on Cabo?
Yeah, Cabo, the room blocks are closed. If you want to book a hotel, you have to book directly. We end up having 40 rooms, so I'm expecting at least 60 people out on this trip. Then we're going to organize stuff outside, like, I don't know, ATV or zipline, stuff like that. We're still working on that.
So for the actual event, on the 12th, we're going to have our meeting, which is going to be from 10 to 12 o'clock. That is going to be our Q1 review meeting. And we're actually going to have 2 guest speakers that are your fellow brothers and sisters on the team. They're going to do a quick presentation about their journey in real estate and how they've been so successful in a very short amount of time. So we're going to lean to them. And then day 2, we're going to do from the same time, 10 to 12 o'clock. We're going to have a Play Bigger Mastermind hosted by Raquel Quinnett, which is one of our top leading coaches in the entire industry. She's actually our senior leadership coach. This woman is an incredible, incredible force to be reckoned with. And I cannot wait for you guys to come in and learn and listen from her. So we'll put together the full agenda. That way everyone knows what to do and when to take a break from taking shots, then when to come together with us and have some a little bit of work while we're there. All right, so more information to come on that. So before I turn it back over to Molly, Eric, I know that you were dealing with a tow truck. Hopefully everything's okay, brother. Did you want to chime in really quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
got it,
So I just want to remind everybody that on Wednesdays from 1 to 3, we have what's called level up sessions, where basically we address issues that you're facing with your business, struggles that you're dealing with, in areas that you feel like you need to improve on. So I encourage everyone to show up 1 to 3 on Wednesdays. It's on the Team Fast calendar. And you know, with the market the way it's going, I feel like in the last 2-3 years, anyone with the brain the size of a pea or bigger, you know, did pretty well. But you know, this is the time where I really feel like all of us as agents, if we want to, you know, get through this shift, is to sharpen our swords. So I highly, highly recommend everyone show up from Wednesday from 1 to 3. On Thursdays, we have role play from 10:30 to noon at the HQ, and I think it's happening at the other offices as well. But come through, hone in your, your phone game, your prospecting skills, and that's not open just to fast agents. You know, if you have other friends that are struggling, that want to level up as well, please invite them. And then lastly, on Thursdays from 3 to 4, we have Spark Hire small group coaching. So for all you new agents that have onboarded and are ready to get to the next step, please sign up. There is a sign-in sheet. Please message me. I can send that over to you. Otherwise that's about all I have at the moment. Oh, and also I do have office hours where I'm doing one-on-one coaching. So if you feel like you need some help or some advice, or you just want to, you know, accountability partner, please hit me up and I will send you a calendar link. Otherwise, everyone looks super good. I can feel the energy in the room. Let's go get it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Patrick, you had your hand up, big dog. Go ahead.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
All right. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that for this month, we do have headshots coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. We are specifically targeting new agents who do not have a headshot yet. So we will be reaching out to a lot of these agents directly. If somebody is a veteran and really was hoping to get into the session, email me at studio@fastagents.com. I will try to get you a slot. But we want to really put emphasis on new agents right now. A lot of these folks don't even have any headshots whatsoever. And I want to make sure that they are stepping forward with their best foot. And that is part of what we do here is we prepare you for success. So that's it for me.
And you know what? It is imperative that you guys have your headshots. And hey, shout out to you and shout out to all the dads and the moms doing double duties that showed up last week. Those pictures turned out so cute. So love the content that is being created in our environment, and no other company, you guys, is doing what we're doing. No other company. And so shout out to you, Patrick, and the genius behind the scenes. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
You guys, go ahead. Sorry, was there somebody else?
I was going to say, so we will, just what Patrick said, we will be emailing those agents directly. It is very important that if you do not have a headshot, you at least tap in or try to book a slot with the link that we send out, especially if you're requesting marketing materials or websites. If you're in production, you know, the shots that we have, even just for a simple meeting slide, we really want you guys and want to be able to support you with putting your best foot forward. It does make a difference. It's a small detail, but it's a big detail in the larger scheme of things. So stay tuned, look forward. It really is geared towards new agents. And I don't mean new agents production wise, I mean new agents to the team, those that have come aboard that did not submit a headshot during onboarding. We are going to be reaching out to you. Thank you.
Beautiful. You guys, while we're on it, we shouldn't have to say it, but things happen. Please return your signs after you've used them. If you do not have an open house tomorrow or for the next 5 days or whenever it is, just make sure that you guys are returning the open house signs. That way your other fellow team members have the ability to use the signs. So please make sure that you're returning that. Mel, coming to you in a second, unless you have something to contribute on the slide. Mel going once.
Yeah, I'm ready. Just let me know when you want me to go.
Cool. Coming to you in just a moment, okay? So you guys, a lot of things going on, and this is actually going to segue right into this conversation. So Kenny and I are going to start this off. Melody has an event next week. We have an internal event. If you got the invite, please make sure to RSVP because we want to make sure that we're understanding what is happening in the market and being able to combat it. Here's how I think about the reality of where we are right now. Some of your older leads and opportunities that you've been working for some time, they might need a little bit more conversation and might need a little bit more communication about what's happening. And you might have to educate them and coddle them and spend a little bit more time with them. Well, the reality is that you have tons of new people that are coming into the market. And guess what? A 6% interest rate is their norm. That is their current reality. And so meet the clients where they are. You have tons of opportunities. You have tons of people that are still buying homes. Talk to every single lender in the market and find out what are they getting for pre-approvals right now? How many people are they seeing come to their desk that are still getting pre-approved for loans? You're seeing this left and right, that there are still people coming to open houses in giant amounts. Now, it's not the same as it was 6 months ago. However, there's still tons and tons of people out there. So your ability to articulate what is actually happening in the market is going to be your biggest strength. Right? Like Eric said, anybody could have sold a home in the last couple of years. Now that the tides have shifted, things get a little bit more tighter. You have to make sure that you are practicing that dialogue so you understand how to communicate that effectively to a consumer. When you nail that, you'll win in any market. So Melody, you have a special event coming up this week. I want you to talk about that event, then I'm going to turn it over to Kenny. So Mel, go ahead and plug your amazing event that's coming up next week on the 30th.
Okay, you guys, Market Shift Mastermind. I know you've heard me talk about it on social. I announced it on the meeting last week. If you have not registered, space is limited. Get your asses there. Let me tell you something. This event is going to be one of the biggest events I've ever thrown. If you ever came to my Friendsgiving party, if you ever came to any of my events in the other Walnut Creek office, you know my shit's lit. You guys have to be there. Let me tell you why. First of all, there is very, very important people flying in from all over the United States to be at this event. Patty Goodspeed, she is one of the top 100 women loan originators in the United States. She was on group coaching a couple weeks ago. Elias had her on. She is fire. If you guys want to know how to get your offers accepted, what the conversation needs to sound like with your buyers right now, you guys need to get in front of Patty Goodspeed, talk to her, pick her brain, ask her what rates are, ask her about inflation, ask her about different loan products, get creative. Second, Jeremy Larson, #1 team leader in Santa Cruz. He's Kenny's sponsor. He's coming all the way out from Santa Cruz just to speak at this event. If you guys want to know how to attract agents into your downline, if you guys want to know how to create a team from scratch, Jeremy is freaking insane. He's a genius, and I absolutely love the energy that he's going to bring. Raquel Quinnett, she's an 8-figure business coach, entrepreneur, and she probably has created over 50 different businesses. She has run a 300 agent team at Keller Williams. She's out of Arizona, and she's Kenny's business coach as well. She's flying all the way out. I'm paying for her to fly out and putting her in a hotel. She's going to be here. There's people coming from Sacramento, San Jose, San Francisco. You guys get there. We're going to have a taco bar. We're going to have a raffle going on. We're going to have a live DJ. I'm staging the entire office. It's going to be so much fun. Elias, I wish you could be there because honestly, it's going to be one to remember. We're going to be doing reels live on the spot. I'll have a photographer there. Invite anyone that you want to come into our culture and have them feel what Team Fast is about. It's simple. Why am I doing this? Because I'm proud. I'm proud to be a part of this team. I wake up every single day proud and excited to be a part of this company and a part of this team. Let's build our community, let's contribute, and let's grow. So I hope to see you guys there. Let's fucking get it.
Yeah, awesome. I think she's excited about this event. I'm excited about this event, and I'm not even going to be there. But Melody, you know, we're sending you love and light. So Kenny, let's turn the mic over to you. There's a couple things in the chat that I will monitor and look for. But Kenny, I know that we've been at tons of conferences. We're having the same style conversations, my man. So let's turn it over to you. He's currently in Orlando at the eXp shareholders event.
Yeah,
So
well, thank you, Melody. That was a lot of energy. I can't follow that much energy, but I can tell a scenario and read my notes. Thank you guys. So, I mean, we're entering a market where it's really skill based. I'll give you two examples. You know, like if you were meeting a seller right now for a listing where you think the property is $1 million and the seller wants $1.2 million, you're giving the comps, right? But maybe the way you present it is not deep enough with enough data. So you're a third agent that told them that, and you just said that, but then the fourth person comes in savvier and dives a little deeper, is more knowledgeable, talks about more things happening in the market, 30-day trends, stuff like that. They're going to win the business, even though you're telling them the same thing. So the better skill-based agent is going to win that person's business. And on the other side, on the buyer side, I posted about this on IG stories, right? Like you're doing reels and all this funny stuff. It's great. You're going to get the lead. Now you're getting an opportunity to talk to that person to try to convert them to the client. But now these people you're talking to maybe are not in the market to buy right now. The pipeline you're working is much longer. You're looking at people that might not transact from 6 to 12 months. So those funny things you're doing is going to get you in front of the consumer. But what are you going to follow up to then be the most knowledgeable person for that client? So those are things that are like from the KW training I went to recently to the Intero training through this. I have 4 pages of notes. I'm just going to blow through real quick. Everything is about skill-based and communication. So I'll put this later on Dropbox. I'm trying to figure out how to use this device to upload it. But communication is more important than ever. One, great agents will do well in any market. And sellers are not listening right now. It's actually better to become the second listing agent than become the first because they didn't listen to the first listing agent. Again, they might have won them over, took the listing that was overpriced to win the listing. But they're going to fire them at some point because then they don't have that skill level to keep them listing. That's a whole different skill set. Statistics are your best friend. And then when you're looking at comps, dive a little deeper than normal into the last 30 days. I know we're looking at comps, we're looking at 3 months, but the market's changing so fast right now. You really need to hyper look at those 30 days. And this is where you separate yourself from the other agents and them reading newspaper, because then you have live data. You have stuff that's happening this week. You can call listing agents and ask the 5 listings why they're staying in the market, how many offers they have, how many open house, so you can bring that into your appointments. Stay in control and reach out to your clients. Start using new language to change it up. Don't use, like, a lot of people are scared. Like, a lot of times right now, the consumers or clients don't even know what's going on in the market. It's actually the buyers and seller. It's actually the agents that are even more nervous. And if you're not understanding the market, you're reading headlines, you're scaring yourself. And then when you scare yourself, you're also scaring the client. So they want someone they can work with and trust. Have the tough conversations up front, especially with sellers. This was one of the best things I've heard at this conference. Have the tough conversations up front and price accordingly. Give example, you're taking an $800,000 on the listing, the seller wants $850,000, but right now it's probably worth $750,000. No, sorry, it's worth $800,000 right now, but the seller wants $850,000. But if you take that overpriced listing $850,000, what if the market was trending down? By the time 30 days later, it's been sitting on the market, maybe that property is only worth $775,000. It's so $850,000. Next time they want to drop it, they're not going to want to drop $775,000 from $850,000. They'll get back to $800,000. By the time they're okay with even accepting the reality that it's like the gap, it's $800,000. That home's worth $775,000. So you need to have those tough conversations up front, price more aggressively with good data, and then even maybe like set price adjustments in front, like, hey, in 30 days we'll say like this, 15 days, if no action, we'll do this. So you get in front of clients. And then we're not in that, the quote is, we're not in that market anymore. Your clients talk about, well, my neighbor got this and this. Well, we're not in that market anymore. 30 days ago was a whole different market. This is new data. You know, my 5 open houses had this much traffic. This is what's going on. It could be pretty work with buyers right now. And then buyers should just write the offers anyway. I've heard this story on this call. Write the offer. The seller is like, no, you guys are stupid. It's too high. They'll call you back in 3 or 4 weeks, and then no action. They'll call you, hey, you know what? My sellers are interested now. So even you think your buyer is writing a stupid offer low, write it. No, not stupid low, just write it even if you think it's a bit low, but because you know why? Sellers are going to get desperate. So if you're the person staying in touch, just like you're nurturing that offer in the 2 weeks that's on the market or 1 week, send that offer in, might not get accepted, still in the market, check in again. You might have a deal happen because sellers are, egos aside, because seller, listing agents want the best price for their own clout, for their ego, for the MLS, but sellers have their own reason to sell and they're not always fully transparent. So write the offer.
Yeah.
So this is something that new communities are doing. Sellers don't want to be the seller that sells their home for lower than the next person, because then the sellers will be pissed at you. I've seen Jordana posted on their IG story that neighbors are mad at her because she sold a house for lower. Why not? Because people have different reasons to sell. So how are you disguising and keeping the price? This is what new construction communities are doing. New construction is paying for HOAs upfront, maybe a year or two, closing cost credits. You keep the price, but you're paying more back, or sellers crediting it to buy down the rate. At least the price doesn't drop as much. So we're in the first part of the cycle. So you can still keep the price high for the seller's ego and the listing agent's ego, but you can do closing cost credits and other creative solutions. Listing agents are now calling agents back 3 or 4 weeks later. And then now instead of talking about rates, talk about the payments instead. Are you comfortable with $2,600 payment? Are you comfortable with $3,500? Hey, what if an additional $300 to $500 could decrease the interest paid? So start talking about the payment amount and not the interest rates, because we see this a lot on social media now. The new quote I see a lot is marry the house, date the rate. Is this the house you want? If you're buying the house, you can always refinance later. And if it drops low, well, if it doesn't drop low, it's going to go higher when you still got the best rate. You're going to get the best rate you're going to get. You should buy the house first and figure it out later. And buyers should actually keep more money in the bank instead of putting a huge down payment. Because if the prices do drop on the value of the house, they still have the cash in the bank, right? And in fact, there's some other strategies too. This next page. Interest equals tax deduction. Renting has no deductions. And then people will buy and sell houses in any market. You guys realize that last year, I think it was like 6.2 million homes being sold. This year, we're looking at 20% decrease. So there's probably closer to 5 million. But people will buy and sell in any market. Great agents will do well in any market. You need to master the language and the message. It's not what you say, it's how you, okay, that's a whole different thing. We go back to, that's the end of that script talk for the market update. But one thing I like was, if you have high interest rate on property, if you make one additional payment a year and you apply that directly to principal, in a way, you're actually getting a much lower interest rate. So they're paying 5% right now, but if you put that extra payment, you're actually somehow decreasing your interest rate because now you're cutting down. So there's some of the things I picked up from a market talk forum, but every conference I've been to is talking about the market shifting, and you're going to see more and more social media shifting, recession, adjusting, pivoting, all that. So you guys need more data and know what to say, and like exactly sentences and things to say to your client. So that Melody's event is going to be huge for that, because you'll hear from a really top performing lender and a business coach. But then you guys actually like get in more forums or get in more masterminds on how to like present data. So
yeah,
strong agents will survive this market, but no, there's supposed to be like a 20-30% less agents in the market. So we added 30%. We added 1.3. We went from 1.3 million agents to now almost 1.6 million agents in 3 years. And now there's 20% less homes being sold. There's half the buyers in the market. So I hope everyone in the call survives, but it's just by statistically, there's a lot of agents that won't make it past this market. So they're not equipping themselves. They're not going to masterminds. They're not studying. So we need to, as really strong agents, get ahead of the curve.
You guys, I heard something in a couple resources for you. I want you to go back and Vin, I'll come over to you in a second. I want you to go back and watch Christina Nunes. She was our guest speaker last week for group coaching. 3 weeks before that, you had Patty Goodspeed and then Dominic Villa on calls. I would go back and take some of that information and say, okay, how can I make this relatable in my own words, and how can I articulate this in the way that I communicate? One thing I heard yesterday on a mastermind was really powerful, and it's very simple. Clients marry the house, but they date the interest rate, right? They're married to the home, they love the home, they want to raise their family there. They're only dating that interest rate. That might be a 2-month relationship, a 6-month relationship, a year relationship. That's not forever, right? So they might be dating a 6% interest rate right now, but they might drop that like a bad habit in 6 months from now and get down to a 4.75. So they marry the home, but they're dating the interest rate. And I thought that was powerful in just the simplest of terms, that, yeah, you're paying the X amount now, but you're not married to that rate. You're only dating that rate. So let's go to a couple questions, couple dialogue.
What was it?
Yeah,
Yesterday, 1,000 people were on Zoom for the Fast Forward Movement Mastermind about the market shift. Supposedly a link to that recording today. So once we get that, we'll post it in the market updates channel and the trading channel.
Yeah, you guys, it was super, super powerful. Vin, you had your hand up, and then we'll come over to Ernesto, and you guys feel free to ask any questions. And if we have to continue this next week, we'll continue this next week, because I think we're going to get some good stuff. So Vin, let's go to you first.
Yeah, well, thank you. I just have a quick question as to what Kenny just mentioned. So when we help buyers write an offer and knowing that the market has shifted, and when we run comms, it's really hard to pull data because the information may not be as relevant anymore. So in this case, what do you recommend do we have a percentage that we can bake into our calculation when running comms to?
Yeah, a real general, like this is just my opinion, general thumb. In the past, the listings usually go price over asking, right? Now it might just be safe to call if you want to write an offer, maybe write closer to list price or write a list price. And then also just say call the pending views and see the price from them. Because I think we're going to see price depreciation in the next year.
Yeah, and so then, go ahead, Ken.
Like sellers want more, buyers want less. So middle right now, it might be listing price. That's just a very general statement.
And so Vin, and it also depends on well, how long has this buyer been searching? What are the new comps? Being able to keep those evergreen and always refresh those comps, and then calling every single pending in that area to find out exactly if you can get that number out of them, to get that number to see, okay, do we even have a chance? Or are we within striking distance? So good stuff. Ernesto, you had your hand up, brother. Do you want to contribute on this, or did you have something else?
Similar. So Cortez posted a question earlier in the chat, and I want to kind of second that question. It goes back to a JVM blog post that I think we ended up putting in our newsletter as well. So anywho, this conversation of understanding the difference between a seller doing just a price drop versus a rate buy down and making it a win-win, I think would be super duper powerful. So if we can get maybe a lender to kind of walk us through how to explain that, I would get a lot of value from that.
So good conversation. Christina covered that exact topic last Wednesday for group coaching. highly recommend that you go back and watch that, or we just do another session with another lender to articulate that once again.
It was a Wednesday call last week. You could check. We'll drop it on YouTube maybe again.
Yep.
And then
Okay. I missed
we're
that
gonna
one.
buy
Okay.
sellers. Yeah, we're gonna buy and sellers. Remember talking about this last week. When you're working with listings, don't use the word price reduction ever. It sounds like pain. You have to reduce, say price adjustment. You see in more savvier agents on their email campaigns, just price adjustments for sellers. But when you're working with a buyer, the seller just reduced their price. It's just a huge price reduction. It might be a good time to strike and write an offer. So two different things: price adjustments for sellers, price reductions for buyer when you talk to them.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Chris, you had your hand up, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to give an example of a recent listing I put in the market. When I first met with the client, she was like, Zillow said it's for 980, this and that. And she was going by, what closed 2-3 months ago. I called all the pendings in the area, found one pending that was pretty much just about a model match, but without a pool. And it was listed at 750 and it's in contract for 780. So I showed her that and was able to talk her to putting the price down from 949 to 879. So when I got it to 879, we got an offer the first day it was on the market. First Saturday on the market. So if I would have had her control me and been like, we'll give it a shot, it'll still be sitting there. Then you'll be playing the game of it'll be sitting too long, then you're chasing the market down and it goes stale, then you lost. You look like a bad agent. So just let everybody know, call the listing agents and their pendings, see what they're in contract for, if they release contingencies. That way you kind of get an idea of where the market's trending instead of going 2-3 months ago. It's not even doesn't even relate to what's happened currently. And regarding buyers, there's a lot more opportunity for buyers. I'm getting buyers in escrow, close to escrow right now that I've been working with over a few months because of lack of inventory. All of a sudden in the first time home buyer market, I'm seeing a bunch of listings come on, price reductions. So I showed a house, a bunch of houses over the weekend. I'm in negotiations right now. We're getting 10K seller credit, all appliances, stuff they wouldn't even consider before. So yeah, it's shifting, but it's shifting for the advantage of the buyers and just control your seller's expectations. You can still produce in a shifting market. It doesn't matter because you're the professional.
That's right. And I'm coming to Dan Sandberg in a second. There's something I heard. I think it's a really powerful script, and it's in the if you just search buyer's consultation, you'll see the script. But asking the client, so Ernesto, let me just make sure I understand. Like, what do you understand about the current state of our market? Where are we at? What do you want to know, or what do you know? And like, listen to that. And then let me share with you the reality of what is actually happening in El Cerrito. Let me share with you the reality of what is actually happening in Elk Grove over the past 60 days, right? Because tons of people read the headlines. They have this information that they think they know, but we're more skilled as to what is actually happening in that market. They may not know that 6 houses just went pending in the last 2 weeks, and every single one of them was under or at list price. They may not know that. So let me share with you the reality of what is actually happening in the real estate market. I promise you that takes ownership, and now you lead them and you become that educator. So little like verbiage cues that will switch some things up. Dan, you had something you posted in the chat earlier. You want to bring up your question?
Oh yeah, we're earlier in terms of challenges in the market. And I guess just a general discussion or question for if anyone has any approaches that they've been seeing as successful, but with the interest rates going up, I know I've definitely seen buyers who have gotten priced out, who maybe started shopping back in like January, February, and were quoted at a 3 or 4% interest rate, and now that we're at 6%, the standard for what they want has now become unattainable. And I'd be curious if anyone has any good talking points for approaching the conversation of getting people to readjust to kind of the new reality of interest rate of buying a house that they is less than what they were planning to 4 or 5 months ago when they could actually afford it.
Now, is it that they're afraid of the interest rate, or now the monthly is no longer affordable?
Yeah, just like straight up, the monthly is no longer affordable. They were maxed out at this price, and now with the interest rate 2% higher, their max approval just got cut down by a bunch.
And their max approval, pre-approval has been readjusted in the last 30 days by their lender?
Yeah.
Anybody have any thoughts on this? Any wins, any successes dealing with exactly what Dan is talking about right now? Anybody want to chime in? Don't be shy.
I mean, right, it's gonna be aggressive, right? The offer that, right, the offer that would be the same payment as before. And this is why the market's gonna go down, because more people will do that and more people need to sell. And you're just at the beginning stage of it, so it's really extreme to write 20% less than the last comp, because the cost went to 20%, but they might between 10%. The property dropping 10% is now the question, considering we've gone double digits increases, even 40%, 30% in 2 years. So 10% coming down is not a lot. So this is where you're gonna lead and speed the market down.
Interesting. And just have the conversation with them of, maybe we got to write 3, 4, 5 offers that are 10% lower, but let's do it at your monthly payment that you're comfortable with. And
that's like needs to get out. That's more terrified, and
yeah,
because maybe they have a seller.
Because think about the other side of it, Dan. There might be a seller that 7 months ago, 8 months ago, 10 months ago, that house would have flown off the market. Well, now we're at 14 days. Now we're getting close to 21 days. They don't have anything on the table. They really want to go to Phoenix to live with their grandbabies, and they want to get there out sooner. You don't ever know the situation. So you submit that. And now what is happening more so than it has in a while, like we're in a realm of like true negotiation skills, right? Like this is when reading that book, what's the name of that book? It's the
Never Split the Difference.
Never Split the Difference. Yeah. So this is when like those skills from those types of books are really, really coming into play. Before it's like, hey, I'm on my high horse and I'm the listing agent and I will say no to every single one of these offers. That market's changed, right? We don't ever know the situation on the other end. They might be like, dang it. Well, it's only 10% lower. Let's at least take that, hun. Okay, let's take it, right? Because they hear all these things happening in the market. So yeah, man, like I would write it and see what happens and see what they come back with. Maybe they're able to get a loan from family. Maybe they're able to make up that difference somehow, some way. Maybe the lender can do something. Maybe they've improved their credit score over the last 30 days because they just paid off something that hasn't hit their FICO score.
Lenders gonna get desperate too, because lenders, half their business is gone. They might like a discount, right? They might give us some back to get a deal. So unfortunately, I mean, it's kind of like sabotaging. But if you're a buyer's agent, attack the market. And you're going to help. You're going to drive prices down and help. This is because then that's you're working more towards. And this is just the market we're in. We're past the peak, going up. I mean, on the opposite end, you guys were writing 300 grand over asking without blink. Like, why can't you 50 grand under asking? Like, just think about what that means in a different market.
It's a really
go ahead. Sorry, we had a lender on last week, and she's like, "Yeah, our rates are X amount." She's like, "We have room to go down. Like, we have room to go down. Now, do I necessarily want to? No, because I'll make less money." But she's like, "We're going to do whatever it takes to help."
That's a really good point too on pushing on the lender to bring them in of like, what can you do to help for a specific buyer? Because I think I saw recently between refi volume and new purchase volume, lenders are down like 80% year over year. And so they're really hurting. So if we've got a buyer, it's like, hey, they want to buy a house, like, let's get a deal done. What can you do to help them find something that we could actually accomplish? They're a partner in that too. Okay, cool. That's really helpful.
Good stuff. Ernesto, and then Vanessa, you had your hand up, but then it went away. Ernesto, let's go to you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, working with the lender to come to that payment conversation is really important. If I'm in your shoes, Dan, I'd probably prioritize listings that have been in the market for like 3 weeks. At that point, like, they want a deal. And the way like that I would phrase that conversation is by offering it as an opportunity to listing agent. Hey, I really want to buy this property. My buyer really wants it. Let me explain to you how it's going to cost you a lot less. Like, it's not going to be as drastic a reduction on your seller side for us to make this work. I've already spoken to my lender. It's only going to take maybe a $5,000 buy down, whatever. But once it's been on the market for a little bit longer, then you have, room to negotiate, and you're offering an opportunity.
Yeah, I love it. You guys, we're actually going to pause there, but I wanted to just ask a quick question. And this is order for us as the senior leadership department to get better for you guys and enhance these opportunities for us to come together. Is this style of conversation, style of a meeting, do you guys find this effective and helpful in any way? If so, give us a reaction down below with your reaction button. And yeah, so help me out, you guys. I'm going to do a quick survey. I saw some thumbs up over here. I saw fire sign, Dan. Okay, Kenny did this one. Melody. All right, cool. So what I want to do is I want to continue to have these conversations. maybe once a month or maybe twice, depending on, popular demand, we'll do like a seller conversation, we'll do a buyer conversation, and we'll continue this because there's tons of stuff that we didn't get to. I'm sure we could stay here for probably another half an hour to 45 minutes going through all of these things. So I sent out an invite for a small mastermind on Monday in Walnut Creek. It is not going to be a huge event like Melody's. It's not open to everyone. So take a look at your calendar and your email, see if you're on that list. Would love to share some time with you guys. But let's go ahead and end there. I want to make sure I'm respectful of everyone's time. I want to go give
Elias.
them a giant hug. Yo.
Hey, sorry, real quick. I don't know if Kenny wants to mention, we should have mentioned it earlier. It totally slipped my mind, but this Thursday, Team Fast has a new partnership with Curbio. So if you're not familiar what it is and who it is, check it out. It is on the Team Fast calendar. It is via Zoom for their presentation to our team this Thursday at 1 o'clock. I don't know if you want to shed any light quickly, Kenny.
Yeah, Curbio's been around for a while, but they're a big eXp partner. Fix now, pay later. I've heard their prices are a bit high in the past from a couple of people, but we're getting a team account, so then they're gonna do price match and other interesting stuff for us. And right now in this market, you don't want to. Your sellers absolutely do not want to do really big repairs. So big repairs like kitchens and like full-on kitchen stuff. So those things are where like prices are getting really high. So for quick repairs, get stuff on the market. This could be really good. Get your sellers going, and then it's probably now more important than ever to have your home prep because the same model home in the new community or the same condo, like Alicia listed a condo, there's 2 more in the same building. I have 12 for sale. So just more value add. They're going to come and show us how their operation works. There's a really cool dashboard that shows you every step of the way that the construction process is too. That's going to be on the 23rd.
Yeah, this Thursday. Cortez, I'll reach out to my rep. I don't think that it was mentioned that there weren't areas that they didn't do, but I'll reach out and I'll hit you on the side.
All right, guys. So let's wrap up there. See you guys tomorrow. If you need anything at all, let me know. I'm going to be putting a Slack message out. I have some opportunities for 6 weeks worth of coaching with me one-on-one. The opportunity for us is to dive into your business. So I don't have too many opportunities, but I want to open it up to a few of you guys if you need that. If you've been here for 6 months or longer, feel like you're at a bottleneck in your business. So let's go out there, have some fun. I'm going to spend some quality time with my family right now. Appreciate all of your contributions. We're going to do more of this. Maybe one meeting, we talk nothing about new escrows. We just put them up on the screen or just send the slides out and we just deep dive and have a mastermind. So appreciate you. And I appreciate all of our guests, Taylor, everyone else that was here today. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for all your guys' contributions and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.